Well, hey again, y'all, this is Bob from Bossrox DIY Solar, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how I back up my power in case my main inverter goes down. Now, if I'm gone for a day or even a couple days or something like that, and the main inverter is down, I'm going to come back and find that I have a refrigerator and freezers full of rotten food. So that's not going to make me too happy, and I don't want to think about that. So I'll come up with a way to make sure that in case the main inverter breaks down when I'm not here, that there's a backup that'll take its place. And for those of you that are still on grid and supplementing with inverter power, this will work also. This will work both for on-grid and off-grid systems. Okay, so what I've got going on here is there's the main inverter, and right there is the backup inverter. Okay, now as long as this inverter is on, so is that relay. That relay is going to be on. As soon as that inverter cuts out, that relay will shut off, and it'll send a signal over to the remote on-off switch right here, which I put in, and it'll fire up this inverter here. Okay. Now from there, both the hots go into this transfer switch over here. All right. So I've got one side going into one leg, and the other inverter's hot side going into the other leg, and the center output going into the distribution box. And on those inverters, both the neutrals are tied together. So I just take a tap off the neutral and come to the box with that. And this is just a 120 volt system, by the way. Okay. Now the other thing is too is when you lose an inverter and fire up another one that has a load on it already, that's something you don't want to do. You want to fire up your inverter first and then add your load. So to accomplish that, what I had to do was put in a 10-second delay switch here. So what happens is when that main inverter goes out, it'll send power to this delay switch right here, and it won't allow this transfer switch to switch over for 10 seconds to allow for the backup inverter to boot up. Okay. Now that's going to be fine for resistive loads, but for inductive loads like compressors and stuff like that, you've got to be real careful. This is real important. You need to have interrupter switches on all your compressors, your refrigerators, your freezers, your air conditioners, and whatnot. The reason is because what's going to happen is the main inverter is going to go out. 10 seconds later, the backup inverter is going to come on, and your compressors are shut down, and they haven't had time for the gases to balance in the system. So what's going to happen is when the power comes back up, those compressors are going to lock up, and they're going to overload that inverter over there and shut it down. So, and that's just going to make matters even worse. So always have interrupters on your compressor circuits. And then, of course, after about 3 or 4 minutes, then your compressors will come back on and everything will be just like it should be. Now, as far as the wiring goes on this, it looks like this. There you go. There's the main inverter. There's a backup inverter. And now that could be grid power. It doesn't have to be a backup inverter. It could be grid power too. And then, of course, your neutrals are tied together. So, I mean, if you got neutral off the grid, tied into the neutral of your main inverter. And then there's the signal relay that turns on the backup inverter right there. And the only difference in this between the backup inverter and grid is that you would take this switch, instead of using it on the backup inverter, you would use it on the delay switch here. So you'd break open a line on this delay switch right here and put those contacts in there instead. So that's the only difference you would make in that. Otherwise, that's how I back up my system. It's pretty simple, actually. It's a little complicated if you're not really into electricity all that much, but that's how it's done. So that's all I got to say about this one, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just ask down in the comments.